the way and get our speaker for the day up. None other than our own the VP of Training and Development, Coach Dan. I know you guys got paper and pen because he always delivers nuggets for each and every time he is before us that we can use throughout our business, throughout our life. And so, without further ado, Coach Dan, are you out there? Coach Dan, are you out there? You still coming on the line? Coach Dan. Maybe you're forgetting to unmute. Hold on, guys. I'm just going to make a call for him because I know he has some special things he wanted to share this morning. Hold on. Well, he is logging in as we speak. So just give him a few more seconds. In the meantime, it is June the 7th, guys. What is your plans for this month? We are going into the summer. Can you believe it? So, Coach Dan, if you're in, just start talking. I'm just filling time, filling space, and talking to these phenomenal people. This is Scan Day in Chicago. If you want people scanned, if you have your love, your family members, your friends, make sure they come out to the dispensary this evening. We scan from 6 to 7, and then we do a presentation, answer questions. And I see he is on the line, so you can take it away, Coach Dan.
All right, good morning, everybody. I trust and pray your day is off to an absolutely fantastic start. I don't know how I could not be listening to the warm and wonderful and the lovely voice of our dear midwife, Miss Phyllis Nash, to hear her energy and have her tell you exactly what she needs you to do in order for you to become the very best you possible is always absolutely amazing. Well, you guys, let me tell you, we are in the month of June. This is the first week of June, and the reality is we're coming amongst the last month of our big win lifestyle cruise contest, and I'm just trying to figure out who's going to be smoozing and cruising with myself and some of the other top leaders that in this next upcoming cruise. That's what I'm trying to figure out. And so this is the last month to push you guys, the last month to recruit, the last month to build as it pertains to being able to win this cruise. Remember, this cruise is absolutely available for everybody that made a conscious decision to build their business. This cruise is absolutely available for everybody that has made a conscious decision to build their business. Ms. Phyllis and I are going to give you a date. We're going to be launching a couple of webinars leading up to the cruise just to make certain that you guys, leading up to the end of this contest, that's to make certain that you're on the right track in order to accomplish the goal. I don't know about y'all, but when I was building teams and building businesses and MLMs, one of the things that I love was the opportunity for free travel. I'm telling you, it was absolutely great. It was absolutely amazing. I got to go on free trips with people that I was building with, people that I was working with, people that had the same type of goals and mindsets. And I'm gonna tell you, even though we're cruising, it becomes an opportunity to expand. It becomes an opportunity to build, and you just don't want to miss these opportunities that is made available to you. Why pay for a vacation when you could get a vacation free just from building your business? Why pay for it? And so what we got to do is we have to go out and build the business. As you're doing scan parties, as you're doing scan parties, for example, and you scan the biggest pack and you sell the biggest pack that we have. Let me tell you something. You sell 7 or 8 of those packs within 1 month. Guess what? You're going on a cruise. But not only that, you are actually making money. You are actually earning cash. You are actually building your business just for doing something, and you're going to get a free trip just for doing something that you should do anyway. And so this is a moment, you guys, where we have to take advantage of the opportunities that is available to us. You got to take advantage of the opportunity. So how do we do it? Coach, how do we get this done in the next less than 30 days? How do I get on that boat? How do I do it? Well, I'm going to tell you a quick story, a sales story, actually. What happened to me was I was hired at the age of 19, 20 years old. I was hired by Crawford Broadcasting Company. Many of you know them as WYCA, Power 92, 106.3. I was hired by them. I'll tell you the real truth is, the day I got the page that I was hired, I was actually I was a resident at the Tinley Park Mental Institute for trying to kill myself. Absolutely, I was. When I found out I had the job, I remember going to the phone booth and asking, could I use the phone? I had to put coins in the phone booth, check my pager, and to find out that I got this job. Well, needless to say, I didn't die. Needless to say, they didn't keep me. So after I got out of there, I am now the youngest account exec in this radio station. And for the first 30 days, it was rough. And it was rough because I was tasked to ask people for at minimum of $3,000, $3,293 per month. This is what I was tasked to ask people. Now you got to understand, I just came out a mental health facility. I lived in Inglewood. I was homeless 2 years prior. I just filed bankruptcy at the age of 19. And here I am sitting here on this job where $3,000 a month was a lot of money for me. But they told me that if I didn't get any sales in this next month, that I was not going to make it. Now, they were only paying me $26,000 plus commission. But that was a lot of money for a kid that's about 20 years old, that's living on 69th Street in an apartment where he's paying $300 a month, and he's by himself. That was a lot of money. But here's the reality. Reality is, I had to figure it out. And one of the things I began to understand is that people did not want to buy advertising. They wanted to buy ideas. They wanted to see themselves on the other side of wherever they was in building a business, and they needed an idea to help them do it. So that meant I had to become creative. As a result of me being creative, here's what we wind up doing. I wind up that particular month closing about 4 clients at $12,000. So that's a total of $12,000 a month in billing. But it took work. It took creativity. It took me driving down 103rd, driving down Cicero, from 55th and Cicero to 127th and Cicero, getting out of my car, knocking on every single door, doing cold calls, and then getting back in my car, driving 100 from 127th back down to 55th. It took work, you guys. It took me going to pastors and bringing them all together in a room and selling them an idea of how radio could build their business and expand their ministry. How does that relate to you? I'm saying to you, it's time to get creative. You can sell 7 packs. You can sell 12 packs. You can do it. How do you do it? You got to get the bodies in the room. You have to come up with some creative ideas that forces people to say, I need to be in the room. And then you have to show them on the other side of their sickness. Show them health. Show them on the other side of being overweight, the other side of taking multiple pills a day, the other side. You have the key. You have everything you need in your hands to be able to do it. But you got to get them in a room. It's going to take work. For example, I'm launching a book on this coming Monday, and I want 1,000 books sold via social media within 30 days. Well, I did the numbers. The average ad buy has a 5 to 7% conversion ratio, depending on, let's say everything is done the way it's supposed to be. Well, in order for me to get 1,000 conversions at 5%, that means I got to touch 20,000 people. That's the closing ratio. I got to touch 20,000 people. So I have to do a campaign that's going to touch 20,000 people in order for me to get 1,000 in 30 days. What is your conversion ratio? How many people do you need to touch in order to get them to get in a room? So what that simply means is, out of 10 people that you talk to, how many says yes to come in the room? How many of them says yes to come to a scan party? How many? Because it's at that point, here it is now. Let's say you got a 15, 20% closing ratio. So that means if you want to sell 10 packs, that means you're going to at least have to touch 100 people or 50 people, depending on what your closing ratio is. But here's the deal, you guys. Your success will not happen if you're not intentional about making it happen. Your success, your goals will not be met if you're not intentional on meeting those goals. And you have to be intentional every day. I want to encourage you on the laws of intentionality. The law of intentionality. That means that which you become intentional in is what you're going to become successful in. And when you are intentional about reaching your goals, then not reaching your goals is not an option. I was meeting with a client yesterday. As I bring this to a quick close, I was meeting with a client. I need y'all to go on this cruise with me. I want y'all to go cruise with me. We're going to have some fun on the cruise, y'all. We're going to have some fun. But you got to be there to have the fun with us. Here's the deal. I was with a client yesterday. Matter of fact, both clients yesterday. I had 2 clients that I was meeting with, and both of those clients had the same problem. And the problem that they had was they could not see themselves beyond the limitations of their current circumstances. One client is another school that I'm consulting, and they're considering wiping out the entire junior high because they need to hire more teachers. They don't have enough students. And I said to them, well, here's the dilemma. If money is the problem, then money is the solution. Now, what is the system and what is the method that you're going to use to generate more money? And so we gave them strategies and all of that, and they could not wrap their mind around getting to the other side because they kept making up excuses based on where they were. So then I had another client. It initially was the same, but by the time the call was over, he had 7 things that he can do to change his financial landscape that day. And he went to work on it and texted me back and said, hey, one of them already worked. So what I'm saying to you today is you got to see yourself on the other side. Don't allow the limitations of your current circumstances to hinder the possibility and the potential that you have to change those limitations by doing the work. That's the goal. Leaders that are on the call, set the meeting up. Put a demand on your team to do the work and fill that room up. And you'll begin to see that you'll catch momentum. And just as I exceeded my goal after that, back in the day, after that 30 days when they said I was going to be on probation, I wind up being above goal by $10,000 to $15,000 a month for the rest of my tenure there. that can happen for you as well. You have the possibility, but you got to work what you have. What you have is good enough, but you got to work what you have. And I'm telling y'all, what we got in Akana is worth the work. It's worth the work. It speaks to every trending industry that is happening right now. It is worth the work, but you got to do the work. Listen, you guys, I trust and pray this brief little bit of training of what to do and motivation to get it done was helpful to you on this day of June 7th. I want to just give a shout out to God because on yesterday, he allowed my son to celebrate his 21st birthday, 21 years in life. And so big shout out to Kyle Stratford, Daniel Johnson. And then also tomorrow, by the grace of God, I would be celebrating my 47th birthday on tomorrow. And so I don't know about, when I say celebrate, I'm just acknowledging that God allowed me to make it another year. It's a work day for me. Why is it a work day for me? Because I got goals to reach. That's another thing when I was sitting there talking with the admin of that school. And I said, you need to have the office staff on the phone calling to make certain you're getting the students to come back. You got to do this, you got to do that. And they said, well, we've been on vacation for a week. You can't afford to be on vacation. You cannot afford to be on vacation until you reach the goal. So I'm not partying because I got goals I got to reach. And so I'm working tomorrow because I want to make certain that I reach my goals, and I'm preparing for this launch on Monday. But I want you guys to have a supernaturally wonderful Akana kind of day. And until next time, as always, prosper and be blessed.
Go out and push. Thank you, Coach Dan.